All right, YouTube, what's going on? So, this Wes Watson stuff is all coming out in a hurry. My last video, I responded to the video, or I reacted to the video that was in front of this video made more recently. And basically, what he said in that video, go watch that one if you haven't yet, is that Wes Watson's possessions are not going to be taken or his money's going to be taken because it's been a default judgment. But now, since it says breaking Wes Watson being sued for millions by the 7-foot monster in court, I'm very, very curious to see now he's going to break down what he was asking for and how much money he's going to, was seeking to get. And since it's a default judgment, what he's going to receive. So let's jump right into it.
Count one is in excess of $50,000 together with interest and costs. Count three, this is battery on Wes Watson. This one, $50,000. Another count against Watson. And this is going to be the same thing. Damages in excess of $50,000. Another one, excess of $50,000. And count six, another battery by Wes Watson, and that's another $50,000.
He actually just named off like 300K. My last video I said I don't think he's gonna be asking for maybe more than 50 to 100 grand. I guess I was wrong. Hold on.
We've all been wondering, what happened to the 7-foot monster? We haven't heard anything about him since that event at Elevation Fitness Gym in Miami when Wes Watson and his gang of butt buddies ran the train on the poor guy, gang banged him while he was down, brutally beat, and couldn't defend himself. But we haven't heard anything since that time, right? Is he okay? What is he doing? Is there a case going on, And now I found out he's been busy putting together a civil case against Wes Watson, that loudmouth piece of shit, to sue the living shit out of him and take every penny.
Like me defending myself, I even have to fucking sit here right now. You know how pissed off I am that I get attacked in the fucking gym and this is fucking happening? And I'm sitting here like I'm in fucking trouble. I'm leaving. Stop fucking lying, all of you. Straight up.
Why is he yelling at the cops like that, dude?
But, Wes should have learned too. You guys saw him, right after the case. He's going around bragging and proud of what happened. And that's going to end up costing him even more money in this case, as you guys are going to see.
I loved it though. That was the best case scenario.
Yeah.
The dog shit out of someone on camera, have the best fucking just brutal fight video of any famous person.
And if you noticed online, he's changed his tone about the material things. Remember how much this asshole loves. He loves the fancy cars, the Bugattis, the Lamborghinis, those Gucci purses he straps around his neck, those Christian Dior lift shoes to make him taller, those watches. He loves material things, but online lately, he's changing his tone that he doesn't care about it that much anymore. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm not tripping on cars that much anymore. I mean, I'm not.
You know why? Because this asshole knows he's gonna lose it all. But that's not it. The 7-foot monster, he's not just going after Wes. He's going after the gym. He's going after the LLC that runs the gym. And the best part, you guys remember that fat pig transsexual version of Freddy Krueger, that asshole who kicked a man while he was down? Well, he's going after him too. Wait until I show you guys all this shit.
Bro, the intro is always so sick on the John Bravo
see if it's
videos.
real or fake. 310 grand. Worth more than most of your guys' fucking whole family's life savings. But whatever the fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. I don't even give a fuck about that shit no more. I want everybody to really just fucking start killing it in life. And the money doesn't do the shit. I've had money. I've had money for a long fucking... Before prison, I had money. I was miserable with money. I got out.
All right, so first, when you're being sued, have a civil case against you, you get served with a summons at your house to show up at court, right? So I'm going to read you this first before we go over the case. And this lady, she goes to serve Wes, that asshole, at his house, and look what she says. It's very funny. She says, I, Kim James, do affirm that on the 9th day of April, I individually, personally served by delivering a true copy of the summons, complaint, and demand for jury trial to Wesley Watson at his address and informed the person of the contents therein in compliance with state statutes. But this is where it gets funny. Take a look at this. Description of person served. Look over here. You know he's going to be pissed when he sees this. Height,
He's
5'8", weight 200.
Bro, he's definitely
bald.
bigger than 200.
So this is her description on this asshole when she saw him. So get pissed again, asshole. So now let's take a look at the case.
I feel like.
So
he
the first
6
thing
foot,
is
and
here,
he's
you know,
probably
this thing's very
230,
long,
240.
and some of it's
He
repetitive.
looks
We
big, I
know
can't lie.
some of the shit that's in here, right? You can pause it on screen if you want to read it in full. But I highlighted some things here that I think are important to show you. And it starts by this: Elevation Fitness LLC, Holdings, Wesley Watson, and Nicholas Dellis, which is the fat pig, and alleges as follows. So that's the complaint. These are the people that are being sued. This is a personal injury action for damages in excess of $50,000. Doesn't show the exact amount. I'm going to get there. On about December 29, 2024, the date of the subject incident, plaintiff was an invitee on the premises when attacked and brutally beaten by 4 men on the premises. The 4 men included defendants Watson and Dellis, you know, the tranny, along with 2 other associates of Watson, unnamed assailant 1, which is that dumbbell Joe Son piece of shit, and the unnamed assailant 2, which is that meth head in the body cam footage. He didn't shut the fuck up either. All right, so that's a summary, okay? So this part here about Elevation Fitness, their responsibility in this. Elevation Fitness LLC, therefore making defendant Elevation Fitness LLC liable for the acts of its employees for including but not limited to acts of authorizing, permitting, and or sanctioning violent persons and or members to be present at the gym, knowing their propensity for violence, including using the gym as a location to encourage, promote, and or provoke acts of the violence with the public.
Yeah, you see how Wes Watson was posting back, you know, I don't even know, what was that, November? He was posting, come to the gym and fight. Ooh.
Perpetrate acts of violence with the public, including plaintiffs. So they're saying basically this gym, they know about this shit. They have them sitting there challenging people. They know about it all, so they're responsible. Okay, now so the next part. On or about December 29th, the date of the subject incident, plaintiff approached defendant Watson in the gym, as he was instructed to do, to talk about posts and messages authored by Watson through social media platforms when the defendant became enraged, angry, and violent and began striking plaintiff with the hard metal buckle on a heavy leather weightlifting belt, using the belt as a dangerous weapon and striking plaintiff multiple times about his body, including his head. At various points, Watson was using racial slurs and called plaintiff the N-word, I'm not going to say it, and threatened to kill plaintiff multiple times. The initial attack and all the subsequent attacks were unjustified. Now, talking about racism stuff, that asshole, I recorded a live that he was on that most people don't have the full one, and he went on a racist rant, and wait until they see this clip. I'll play it for you guys right here.
Pull up, baby girl. Yeah, oh yeah, JoJo. Like, why don't you put some fucking cocoa butter on your head and on your ashy knees? She don't fuck with you, bro. JoJo. You could, I bet you understand what JoJo looks like, you guys. JoJo the monkey, the jumping around monkey man. Like, nobody gives a fuck about people like you, dipshit. Monkey JoJo. Yeah, jump around, monkey. Don't give a fuck.
She's just looking at him like,
I wish I could light up every word on these motherfuckers. Like everything, and not hold anything back.
In this initial attack, Watson attacks plaintiff with dangerous weapon, and another man, an associate of Watson's, unnamed assailant 1, moved in on the plaintiff from behind with a dumbbell with the dangerous weapon in his hand. Unnamed assailant 1 pursued plaintiff and struck plaintiff with the dangerous weapon, a dumbbell, while Dellis was approaching plaintiff from the front. That's the pig when he went to kick him. During the attack, plaintiff could not effectively use his hands or arms to protect his face or head. Dellis kicks plaintiff in the face and is taunting plaintiff while the other 3 men attack and restrain and prevent plaintiff from protecting himself from the repeated punches and kicks. Unnamed assailant 1 and unnamed assailant 2 also taunted plaintiff during the attacks. Watson, in addition to the punches and kicks, was gouging his fingers in the plaintiff's eyes at various times during the attack and attempted to choke or restrict plaintiff's breathing, including when plaintiff was again defenseless and being restrained by the others. Over the course of the attacks, Watson, Dellis, and unnamed assailants 1 and 2 committed multiple and separate acts of battery, including battery with dangerous weapons. The attack, led by Watson, is so violent and disturbing, it's difficult to watch. Watson and Dellis and the unnamed assailants 1 and 2, especially Watson, are attempting to inflict pain and damage on plaintiff. Watson especially was in a violent and vicious rage with threats to kill, racial slurs, and actions that illustrate a man intent on permanently damaging the plaintiff. It is not exaggeration to say that the plaintiff could have been killed from the beatings. Watson, he's going to be pissed again, is 5'8" tall, but weighs over 230 pounds and is extremely strong and was aided by 3 other strong and violent men. This attack was 4-on-1, and together they were intent on causing immense harm and damage to the plaintiff. Okay, so now you guys saw a summary of the events, how they're displaying. Again, you guys can go and pause all these things, right? Elevation Fitness LLC vicariously liable for the negligent acts of its employees for including but not limited to acts of authorizing, permitting, and or sanctioning violent persons and our members to be present at the gym, knowing their propensity for violence, including using the gym as a location to encourage acts of violence with the public and perpetrate acts of violence of the public, including plaintiffs. So they're saying, the gym, they're responsible. They know the shit that's going on there, and they're not stopping it. Plaintiff was in actual fear for his life and pleaded multiple times for Watson and the others to stop. The conduct of Watson, Dellis, unnamed assailant 1 and 2, was so reckless or wanting in care that it constituted a conscious disregard or indifference for the life, safety, or rights of plaintiff. Subsequent to the attack, Watson has made statements. This is the part where he was going around, remember, on Little Pump's stream, on the stream with the Jack Doherty bitch. He was bragging about it in other places. Watson has made statements bragging and boasting about the attack, illustrating his callousness for what took place and relishing in the brutal and vicious nature of the group attack on the plaintiff. Watson has made statements included, but not limited to, referring to plaintiff getting served, referring to the attack and saying, "I loved it." Watson referring to the attack and stating, "I got to beat the dog shit out of someone on video." Referring to Dellis and other unnamed assailants, Watson says, "Dude, where I'm from, they should have kicked his whole face in." And he adds about himself, "I have the best fucking just brutal fight video of any famous person." So you guys remember how much this asshole went bragging about it, and we knew it was going to cost him. And now you're going to see how it's going to cost him. So counting 1. This is against the gym itself, Elevation Fitness, okay? It's going to say here, I'm not going to read this whole thing. It says, plaintiff sues the defendant, Elevation Fitness, for damages in excess of $50,000 together with interest and costs. And it doesn't show the exact amount over 50, but it's over. Count 2, this is against Elevation Fitness, the LLC company, because I think they own multiple gyms. So this is after the company itself. And it's the same thing. Sues the defendant, Elevation Fitness Holdings LLC, for damages of excess of $50,000. Now, count 3. This is battery on Wes Watson, because he has more than one battery. This one, $50,000 or greater, okay? Another count against Watson, and this is going to be the same thing. Damages in excess of $50,000 together with interest and costs. Here's count 5. Battery, another battery against Wes Watson, another one. Excess of $50,000. And then count 6, another battery by Wes Watson, and that's another $50,000. And then they left the best for last. That piece of shit who we've all been wondering why that tranny, why he hasn't been charged. Well, count 7, battery by Nicholas Dellis. And him too. They're going to take every poor penny that bitch has because we don't know how much he has. I don't think he has much. He rides a bicycle, that asshole. And here, in excess of $50,000. So this goes over the civil case. And again, you guys can go back and pause in areas you want to because it's just way too long to read. But I know it happens in July. And like I said, this asshole's mouth got him into more trouble. And remember what I said in the beginning. He's going around now saying, material things don't matter. None of that matters. Why is he saying that? Because he's about to lose all of it, this piece of shit.
Like, I don't go broke. I wasn't even broke in prison. Like, I would just have to...
All right, guys, so we're just about at the end there. But, man, that's pretty crazy to see that all those counts on Wes Watson, all those 50 Gs, he's got to pay. Yeah, and if he can't pay it straight cash, they're gonna start taking his cars. They're gonna start taking his stuff. That is crazy to hear, if you want me to be honest. So, yeah, guys, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Blake1 signing out. Peace.